In a quiet, lonely valley, nestled between tall, misty mountains, lived a young boy named Jack and his mother. Their cottage was old and crumbling, a sad little home where the wind whistled through cracks in the walls. It hadn't always been this way. Laughter once filled these rooms, back when Jack's father was with them. But one day, he simply vanished. Some said he was lost in the mountains. Others whispered of something darker. Now, all they had was a small, barren patch of land and an old cow named Milky White. For Jack, Milky White wasn't just a cow. She was his best friend. He'd talk to her when he was sad, share his dreams with her, and pat her soft head when he felt scared. But dreams couldn't fill their empty bellies. The winter had been brutal. Their land was useless. Their well was dry, and hunger was a constant companion. One cold morning, Jack's mother called him over. Her face was thin, her voice weak. "Jack," she said softly, "we have nothing left. No flour, no water. We've reached the end." Her eyes, full of tears, drifted toward Milky White. "You must take her to the market today. Sell her for at least 10 gold coins. It's our only chance to buy seeds and survive." Jack's heart shattered. He hugged his friend tightly, but he knew there was no other choice. He nodded, and with a heavy heart, set off toward the village. After walking for a while, Jack came to a wooden bridge. Sitting right in the middle was a strange man dressed in clothes made of stitched-together leaves. His skin was like the bark of an old tree, and his eyes were bright and knowing. Jack froze. "How do you know my name?" "I know many things," the man replied. "I know your father, and I know your cow is worth more than 10 gold coins." Jack was surprised. "Worth more? But she's old." "Yes," the man said, "but she can give you a door to your destiny." He opened a soft pouch and revealed 5 strange beans. They glowed a deep violet, with silver veins that seemed to pulse with life. "What are these?" Jack whispered. "Magic," the man said. "Plant them tonight, and they will grow by morning. They will lead you to answers, including answers about your father." Jack hesitated. His mother wanted gold, but a warm, strong feeling deep inside told him this was important. He slowly handed over Milky White's rope. When Jack got home and showed his mother the beans, she fell silent. It was a terrifying silence, the kind that comes before a storm. Then, her anger erupted. She screamed, she cried, calling him a fool for trading their last hope for what she called bean trash. In her rage, she threw the beans out into the garden and sent Jack to his room. That night, Jack lay awake, his cheeks wet with tears. But just as the clock struck midnight, the ground began to shake. A strange hissing sound filled the air, followed by loud cracks from outside. Jack rushed to his window and gasped. The beans had grown into a massive beanstalk, thick as a tower, reaching all the way up into the sky. It glowed with an otherworldly green and silver light. Its leaves were as big as sails, its vines twisting like giant muscles. He felt an undeniable pull. He had to climb it. Before sunrise, Jack slipped out of the house and began his ascent. He climbed higher and higher, through layers of clouds and biting winds, leaving the birds flying far below him. His hands burned, his legs ached, but he refused to stop. After what felt like hours, he finally reached the top. He stepped onto a land made of soft, white clouds that felt as solid as marble beneath his feet. In the distance stood a colossal castle of black iron and sharp stone, surrounded by enormous glowing mushrooms. He cautiously approached the castle. The air smelled of roasting meat. The main door was so massive he had to crawl through the crack at the bottom to get inside. Everything within was gigantic. Spoons were as big as boats, chairs were like mountains, and a single loaf of bread was the size of a boulder. Suddenly, a giantess appeared. She was incredibly tall, with a mountain of silver hair, but her face wasn't angry. She looked surprised. "Oh," she rumbled, "a human boy. You mustn't be here. My husband, the giant king, he hates humans. He believes humans stole his treasures." Jack begged her, "Please, I only want to help my mother." Before she could reply, the entire castle shook. Thump, thump, thump. The floor trembled as the giant king entered. He was 40 feet tall, wrapped in a cloak of white bearskins, with a belt made from shields. His eyes burned like hot coals. He sniffed the air and roared a terrifying chant. Fo-fum. I smelled the blood of an Englishman. Jack trembled, but the giantess calmly said, "No, dear, you just smell the roasted calf." The giant devoured a whole ox for breakfast. Then he dragged a huge iron chest to the table. Inside were bags overflowing with gold coins, the very gold that had been stolen from Jack's Valley years ago. Soon, the giant fell asleep, his snores echoing like thunder. Seeing his chance, Jack grabbed one bag of gold and ran. He scrambled down the beanstalk as fast as his legs could carry him. His mother wept with joy when she saw him alive, and even more when she saw the gold. But Jack knew it wouldn't last forever. So, he climbed the beanstalk again. This time, he hid inside the giantess's knitting basket. He watched as the giant commanded his magical golden hen to lay eggs. The hen clucked, and right before Jack's eyes, laid a heavy, shining gold egg. When the giant slept, Jack snatched the hen and escaped once more. The third time Jack climbed, he felt a strange pull, as if one final treasure was calling to him. He hid inside a large copper pot. This time, the giant brought out a golden harp, with the face of a beautiful woman carved into its frame. When commanded, the harp played music so sad and beautiful that Jack almost cried. When the giant fell into a deep sleep, Jack grabbed the harp. But this treasure was alive. "Master, master, the boy is stealing me," it shouted. The giant woke with a furious roar and began to chase Jack. Jack scrambled down the beanstalk, the giant right behind him, shaking the entire stalk with every step. "Mother, bring the axe," Jack screamed as he neared the bottom. He hit the beanstalk with all his strength. One strike, two strikes. On the third, the stalk cracked and splintered. The giant, roaring like a storm, fell through the clouds and crashed to the earth far away, creating a huge crater that would later become a lake. The beanstalk itself burned away into black ash. From that day on, Jack and his mother never suffered again. The golden hen laid an egg every day, and the harp filled their home with beautiful music and joy. The valley slowly grew green and prosperous again. People returned, and Jack, the boy who climbed to the sky, faced a giant, and brought back hope, became their wise and beloved leader. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more adventures.